All right. Welcome back to the channel. What's up, guys? This is Josh, your host from KeepItTechie. I'm excited to do this live stream today. What's happening to everybody that's here? Go down, hit that like button if you can. You know, if you're new here, go down, subscribe to the channel and everything. I'm excited, man. I just hit 19K subscribers. So I thought that was super dope. You know, I think it happened overnight because I haven't been watching, uh, the numbers or anything like that. I barely watch my numbers when it comes to, how many subscribers I got and all that stuff. And I happened to look today because I was setting up a live stream and I was like, man, I didn't hit 19K, man. So salute to everybody that subscribed to the channel. You know, I've been running this channel for a while, so I know probably some of those, accounts that's probably subscribed to my channel, probably not active as much, you know what I'm saying? But hey, I mean, I appreciate it. You know, they found some that lets me know that people find some value, in my channel, you know what I'm saying? Which I really appreciate. So that's super dope. But shout out to everybody that's here. Let me go down and give quick shout outs. What's up, Casual Economist? Salute to you. He says, pleasant surprise. Yeah, man. I just, kind of did this on a whim. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really have much planned. I had some videos, scheduled up that I was, planning on putting together. But I figured I'd just cover some of the topics in the live stream. And then also, cover like some home lab stuff, because that's something I've been working on, recently. I've been building out, certain things on my home lab. And I just wanted to, put that out there or whatever, or show people kind of what I'm doing, on my network, just playing around with different, software and all that stuff, figuring out how to use it all, you know what I'm saying? So I can show people that are interested in it how to use it as well, at least based on me reading the documentation and putting everything together, just to make it easy for people to, get into it and use it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man KeepItTechie. Good to see you in the building. He says salute, KeepItTechie. Man, Red has name has been in everyone's mouth this week. Yes, it has. And that's one of the things I wanted to cover. You know what I'm saying? One of the topics, I'm gonna cover that, kind of first. I go down there and hop into that, but I'll really talk about, Rocky Linux, because I'm a heavy supporter of Rocky Linux. You know what I'm saying? I really like their enterprise Linux or whatever that you can install, at home. You ain't gotta worry about nothing, you know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta worry about trying to get rail. You can get a copy of it, using Rocky Linux basically, which is super dope. And they got like a whole bunch of documentation, and also they're kind of like a supporter of the channel. So, that's super dope. Lloyd, what's up, man? He says, hello. What's up, man? How you doing? Good to see you, bro. And Casual Economy says, congrats on the 19K. I appreciate that. All right, so let's go on and hop right into it. If you're just getting here, go on like the video. You know what I'm saying? I'm not looking for many people to show up today or whatever. It's all good. I've been, and that's another thing. I've been laying low. Because if you guys didn't know, I got a community guideline strike on my channel about 2 weeks ago. Now, it's been about 2 weeks. They basically flagged me or struck me because of one of my cybersecurity videos. Well, I was just showing people a tool, that could be used, or supposedly used by, or can be used by hackers. But, I show it for people that's interested in getting to the cybersecurity field. So I show people the basics of it. I don't go through and try to, do anything nefarious. I only use my equipment, what I'm saying, when I'm running these types of tools, to try to keep it, safe. I ain't got to worry about, breaking any laws or anything like that. Because in order to become a cybersecurity professional, and you hear this all around the board, all across the board, in order to become a cybersecurity professional, you got to understand the tools that a lot of these bad actors actually use. And so I did a video on, what was that? It was like Pie Fisher or something like that. And they struck me on it. You know what I'm saying? I appealed it, and they gave me like a week strike or whatever, but I appealed it that day when it actually happened. I had like some videos lined up about the release, and they struck me, and so I just been kind of chilling. I kind of staying away from some of those cybersecurity tools, you know. So I had to go back to the drawing board and start building out some more videos for on other topics, because I was finna hit heavy in the, you know, Kali Linux and showing all these different tools, showing people how to actually use them. But like I said, it's for people that want to learn how these tools actually work, so you can protect the organizations that you may work for if you get into this field. So that's the whole purpose of those videos. You know what I'm saying? It's not to show anybody how to do anything illegal. It's to show people how these tools actually work, so you can protect your organization. But anyway, I'm going I went a little too far on that, but hey, shout out to Kamolo. I hope I ain't mess up your name. He says, nice to be here, Kamolo from Togo. What's up, bro? Good to see you, man. KeepItTechie says, yeah, download your copy of Rocky Linux while you still can. Nah, I mean, they figured out a way. Oh, and let's just go on hop right into the article, you know what I'm saying, that Rocky Linux actually put out. You know what I'm saying? So, casual economist, wow, that's crazy. What video got you struck? Yeah, let me go down and show you the video right fast. It was Pie Fisher. I know people, you know, kind of want to know. Let's see. Let's go up in here and then add my browser. Let's see. Here we go. Boom. So we got that straight. And then let's go to my YouTube channel, and I'll show you guys the actual video. And I don't know if you guys notice on YouTube, I don't know if it's just me, but I almost look like they took away the search for it. Let me log in and see if it's the same if I actually log into my account on here. I know you guys can't see what I'm doing, but I'm trying to hide that for a reason, so I can go down and log into my account. Not that I don't trust you guys, you know what I'm saying? But I just want to, you know, kind of hide that or whatever. Let's see. This kind of like my main account that's tied to a lot of stuff. I don't want to share that out or whatever. But if you guys are interested in mentorship, go down and hit up my channel. Go down and hit my email, KeepItTechie at gmail.com, and you can contact me, and I do what do you call it, mentorship. So I talk to people, you know, weekly that schedule with me on ways to get into the IT field based on what direction they're trying to go. So just throwing that out there for, you know, anybody that's interested or that's here on the channel and they want to know. All right, cool. So this is my channel. Let me see if I could find that video. I think it was Pie Fisher. And they put it back up. It was 3 months ago. I put it up. It's easy to use phishing tool for ethical hackers. And actually, let me go into my back end and kind of show you guys this strike, because let me switch back, because it might be some stuff I don't want to put out there. But that's the video for anybody that's interested. Like I said, I was just showing people how to actually use it. I was just going through a bunch of tools on there that kind of shows you what, you know, what actually, you know, happened or whatever. All right, here we go. So, all right, looks like I can't do it. Here we go. But I can at least show it to you guys, whatever. I don't care if you guys see the back end, whatever. So this is the back end on my website, but as you can see, important notifications, that's the appeal granted. But right here, this is the important notification, community guideline strike 1. So that was my first strike on this channel. I got a warning a long time ago because I showed people how to set up what, YouTube downloader or something in the terminal, and I understand why, you know, they did that because I mean it's their platform. I'm showing you guys how to circumvent it, you know, to download videos or whatever, you know, from their platform, which I only talked about in a video that, okay, this is for content creators. This is a way to actually download the videos. You know what I'm saying? I didn't say what else you could do with it. I just kind of talked about it that way. Like, okay, this is, you know, something you could do as a content creator. If you want to back up your videos, you know, you can use this, you know, script that'll download it from the YouTube API, you know, and you could back up your videos in whatever format. And I show people how to use it. So I got a warning a long time ago. I don't even remember when it was, but anyway, this is, yeah, here we go. So PieFisher tutorial, removed due to violation of our community guidelines, and your channel got a first strike. So anyway, I submitted an appeal. And I explained to them that, hey, this content is for cybersecurity professionals, so they can understand these tools, so they can, you know, I gave it like a professional statement in there on what I was trying to do. I don't know if this has something to do with them implementing some type of AI now, but anyway, that's what they, you know, did. And so I applied, I put all that information in there. And then after the appeal was submitted, they went in, I guess somebody physically watched the video. And the crazy part about it, you see this tool is called PieFisher. Watch this. And this is one of the, and I didn't want to throw anybody else under the bus, but check this out, man. Like, let's go here, go to YouTube, search for PieFisher tutorial, and watch who pops up, man. And this is what freaked me out about it. I was like, what the hell, man? So my man InfoSec Pat, he got some video on it. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? Nothing wrong, you know. But this is the one that actually freaked me out. So phishing attacks are scary, easy to do. Let me show you. If you guys don't know who Network Chuck is, you guys ain't, you know, don't watch YouTube that much, you know what I'm saying? But Network Chuck, networking guy, been around for a very long time, but he covers, and I'm gonna mute it, but he covers PieFisher, the exact same thing I'm showing in the video. So he breaks it down. Let me see, where is it at? But anyway, he got all this in the video, the same thing. And I assume maybe, okay, it's because, you know, he's a bigger channel, so maybe that's why they allowed him to do it. But see, same tool, same everything. You know, it's got the list of sites you could make it look like, you know what I'm saying, when you're running a phishing attack, you know, all that information. So hope they don't flag me, or hope he doesn't. I doubt it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not playing any of it. I'm just showing you know, the video itself. But anyway, he did a video on it showing the actual tool. And I didn't want to rat on anybody. I'm not that type of person, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I look at it like, okay, we all helping people. So, but still don't punish me, you know, and not punish everybody else. Like, I mean, if I did something wrong, I mean, everybody did something wrong. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of made me upset, you know what I'm saying? And I hate to go down. I'm going down this whole rabbit hole. I didn't mean to, you know, do this, you know what I'm saying, go that far down the rabbit hole on this. But yeah, that kind of scared me a little bit. Not scared me, but kind of like, okay, I gotta really watch what I put out there. You know what I'm saying? I don't want nobody to, I don't want to get my channel taken down. I didn't put a lot of, you know, blood, sweat, and tears into this thing, and I don't want to get it taken down, you know what I'm saying? So, but whatever. Yeah, and that was another point I put in the appeal. I said, didn't you guys just create a place for people to put courses? So if you could put a course up there, everything that I covered in that video would have to be covered in that course, because that's course information. That's something that they show you in those Kali Linux courses. You know what I'm saying? And so I even put that in there and made it a point, like, okay, well, so how you want people to put up courses to help people get into cybersecurity field if they can't talk about the tools that are used in the cybersecurity field, you know, in order to protect organizations? So it's weird. It was weird, but whatever. It's all good. All right, so let's get to the article that I kind of wanted to cover. And like I said, this was dealing with the whole Red Hat. You said that earlier, either Aquateca or Casual Economist. Let me see. One of you guys said it about Red Hat. Yeah, Aquatechi. Yeah. So this is one of the articles that I saw that I got in my email or whatever, because I'm subscribed to their little blog or whatever. So I got it in my email. But keeping open source open. And that's the whole point of this article. They basically, not really bashing Rail, but they don't agree with what Rail is actually doing. And if you guys don't know what's going on, Red Hat basically stated that they don't find any value in the Rail rebuilds, meaning like Alma Linux, which is essentially the exact same thing as CentOS used to be until it created CentOS Stream, as well as Rocky Linux. They do the exact same thing. It's enterprise Linux distribution that's open source and available to anybody to download. And so they said they don't find any value in it. They got a whole article or a blog post that they put up a while back, and I'll show you guys that as well. It was like on the 26th. Red Hat's commitment to open source, a response to the git.centos.org change. So they made a change where you can't get the source of Rail anymore in order to create these rebuilds that are out here, i.e. Rocky Linux, i.e. Alma Linux, all those enterprise Linux solutions that are out there for people to freely download and use. But at the end of the day, open source is open source. You can't close source anything like this. But just to talk about a few things that was in there, Rocky Linux, of course, was created to be compatible with Red Hat Enterprise Linux and to align with the original goals of the CentOS project, instead of bisecting the Enterprise Linux community. Now, the person that created Rocky Linux, which is why I cover it and I talk about it a lot, is the actual creator or main developer of the CentOS project. You see what I'm saying? So I guess he's not affiliated with that he's not affiliated with that project anymore. And he created his own project, which is Rocky Linux, and it's Gregory Cursor. So if you guys want to look him up, his information on there. I think we follow each other on LinkedIn, or I'm connected with him on LinkedIn, all that good stuff. So shout out to him, Gregory Cursor. But he created the Rocky Linux project, and he wanted to, and it all came about because, CentOS kind of changed. It wasn't a one-to-one comparison anymore. It was that whole CentOS stream that they created, which could have bugs and all that stuff. So Rocky Linux, as well as Alma Linux and a couple others, they wanted to have that one-to-one comparison to Rail. And so that's where the Rocky Linux project actually came from. And I know it kind of sounds like an advertisement, but I'm not trying to advertise for it. I mean, open source is open source. I like all these distributions. You use what you want to use, you know what I'm saying, that you're comfortable with. But it's plenty of options out there, you know what I'm saying. I'm just covering one of the ones that I use, a lot within my environment. But like I said, Red Hat has expressed that they do not see value in a Rail rebuild. And so they limited access to the source of Rail to their paying customers only. That's what's covered in this article. And actually, let me put this article in the chat. So if anybody want to read it as well, you know what I'm saying? Boom, you can check that out yourself or whatever. Now, if you read more in this article, and like I said, I'm not going to read it word for word. I just kind of put some notes to the side that I'm kind of covering everything. But Red Hat terms of service and end user license agreement impose conditions that hinder customers from exercising their rights guaranteed by the GPL. And that's where the big problem is coming in. You know what I'm saying? They trying to make it almost closed source. You know, open source is supposed so anybody can see or anyone can have access to the source code, which, I understand they're a big organization. They trying to, keep things, in house, but still, at the end of the day, the software, you should follow the GPL at the end of the day. And Rocky Linux, kind of refused to agree with the Red Hat's terms of service and EULA. So they have found, some alternative methods to obtain, the necessary source code. Now, one of those things I thought was, super interesting. Rail is on a lot of these cloud platforms. So, it's pay per use. So anybody can, spin up a virtual machine in a cloud instance or a cloud instance, and they could get the Rail image from there. You paying that organization, so you have a copy of that, Rail image up there, in the cloud. You could just grab it, do what you need to do with it. And so the other way is obtaining the source code is by using the UBI container images based on Rail. So they can grab the the source from there. So, and it says these methods comply with the GPL and allow the Rocky Linux project to obtain Rail binaries and SRPMs without compromising their commitment to open source software. So that's one thing I like about Rocky Linux, man. They really, they're committed to open source, the enterprise Linux community, and based on what I'm seeing, they're doing their best to serve the best interests of the entire open source community, even in the face of this potential negative impact by Red Hat. So definitely read this article, check it out. I support open source software. I support things being out there, for free or for people to inspect the software and all that stuff. So I agree with Rocky Linux on this article. And I just kind of wanted to cover it as like one of the first things. But here's that. Oh, well, yeah, the link is down in, I don't have that many people here today, but shout out to all you guys, you know what I'm saying? But if you need that article, it's right there, so you check it out for yourself. And then also, let me put the Red Hat article up here, that blog post as well, so you guys can check that out. It's a topic that's been talked about, for the last couple of days and all that good stuff. So definitely check it out or whatever. And let me give a couple shout outs again. What's up to my man Bob? He says you can create a website and monetize it. You did the hardest, which is having online presence and 19K subscribers. Yeah, I know it is super hard, bro. Yeah, and I appreciate everybody's support, people that support the channel, what I'm trying to do, trying to, help people and everything. Dork Soldier, he says, hello, pal. Greetings from Ecuador, Colombia. Shout out to you, man. Venezuela. You put why you put like 3 countries in there, man? So you jump back and forth between all them different countries, man. Shout out to you though, man. That's cool, bro. Maddox, what's up, man? My man, how you doing, bro? Game over. Salute to you, bro. Salute. You know what I'm saying? Good to see you. KeepItTechie says one of the biggest selling points of purchasing Rail is guaranteed support. Yeah, and that's their whole business model. Really, it's just the support. That's where they make the bulk of their money. Support. You know what I'm saying? They got contracts with the government. You know what I'm saying? DOD. Department of Energy. All these different organizations, they have support support contracts with, just in case, because definitely the government, they want to have that support. They'll pay for that support. And so yeah, that's one of the places you see Rail a lot. You know what I'm saying? Not saying smaller organizations or other organizations don't have it, but you know what I'm saying, I see it more on the government side. You know what I'm saying? So all right, so let me see. Oh, hold on. Let me read the rest of it. As long as the clones remove all RHL specific branding, I don't see what Red Hat's problem is. Yeah, it's crazy, bro. You know, I mean, shout out to Red Hat though. I went today. They took me today. Today's summit. I really appreciate them inviting me out, so I'm not up here trying to bash Rail. Shout out to those guys. They put out a great product, as well as a lot of the things that they're working on, especially their organization and developers and all that stuff. Like Ansible, this it's awesome, this type of stuff that they're putting out there, you know what I'm saying? But we just need to keep it open source, you know what I'm saying? So we gotta have access to it, But anyway, let's see. Larry Green says Nolan's in the house. Well, sorta. I moved due to Katrina. Hey, I feel you, bro. Like I remember a lot of people from when Katrina happened. Family from New Orleans. They came up to Baton Rouge. So yeah, and some people didn't go back. So I feel you, man. I feel you. Let me see. The problem isn't Red Hat. It's IBM who owns Red Hat. Yeah, that's true. I forgot IBM acquired Red Hat a while back. IBM is upset because the profit margin is down. Yeah. Okay. I got you. That's where it's coming from. All right. So they getting pressure from, the other organization that actually owns them. So yeah, and they just spent all that money at the Red Hat convention, man. That was awesome. Like I said, man, I didn't share as many pictures. I need to go through and do a video showing a little bit more. Man, I know that was a lot of money they spent, to do that. I mean, it tripped me out, bro. They bought out like 4 different restaurants in one little block or whatever, and you can go to all of them. You know what I'm saying? I was stuffed that night. They had this like Mexican restaurant. They had this bowling spot with like pizza and all kind of stuff. They had this Italian restaurant that looked super high end. They had the cheese boards. They had the, linguine or whatever you call it, all up in there. They had the big block of cheese, you know what I'm saying, where they was spinning the noodles in or whatever. Man, that was dope, bro. Not that, I mean, and I sound like I ain't never been nowhere. That's not my first time going to no restaurant like that. But nah, that was just super dope. I know, that cost them a lot of money. Oh, and they had a Mexican restaurant as well, like with the, I think I said that one, but they had another restaurant. And this was dope. The restaurant like had like video games, like old video games, where you can sit down and play those video games with your group of friends or whatever, with the big bench seats around the TV with the controller and all that stuff. I think it was like Nintendo games and different things like that. But that was super dope, man. Oh, shout out to my man, the one Lightfoot. What's up, bro? How you doing, man? Good to see you in the building. My guy, man. And KeepItTechie says, IBM is gonna IBM. LOL. All right, now let me get back to the article. And one thing I want to do today is bash Microsoft. No, I'm just playing. I ain't gonna bash them. I ain't bashing nobody today. But Microsoft, they are under fire. And this will trip you out when you read exactly what happened. So let me go down and drop this. This article is on the Register. I'm gonna put it in the chat so you guys can check it out for yourself. But I don't know if you guys have heard of the GMP project, which I've never heard of this project. You know what I'm saying? It's making me want to look into it, but it's an open source arithmetic library at the heart of GCC and other programs. It basically slowed down to a crawl where people couldn't access it. And the crazy part about it is it was due to a whole bunch of network traffic being pushed to the actual project, preventing people from actually getting to it. And this is one of the things that a lot of people pointed out when Microsoft actually acquired GitHub. I remember there was a lot of pushback when that first happened. Microsoft was buying GitHub. People started moving their projects. GitLab started going up. People was moving their projects over there or creating their own Git repository, and hosting it themselves, all that stuff, and moving away from GitHub. Well, that's the thing, Microsoft has never been a fan of open source. They've never been a fan of open source project. At one point, they were trying to kill all open source projects, back in the day. They just did not like open source. And then when that happened, Microsoft, people were defending it, talking about, oh, they're turning over a new leaf, even though the history shows that they hate open source. The history, they're turning over a new leaf. They embracing open source projects. I think they ended up as one of the donators to Canonical, which is the company behind the Ubuntu project. You know what I'm saying? I think they are like a gold member or something like that. That mean they donated like a certain amount to get their name up there, but they became like one of the biggest supporters of the Ubuntu Canonical and Ubuntu project or whatever. And people are like, oh, they turned over a new leaf. Well, they pretended to embrace it. And watch this, man. The packets appeared to come from servers associated with Microsoft. So I'm not going to butcher this person's name, but it says principal author of GMP raised the alarm in a note to the project's mailing list. The GMP servers are under attack by several hundred IP addresses owned by Microsoft Corporation, he wrote. We do not know if this is made with malice by Microsoft, if it is some sort of mistake, or if it is one of their cloud customers running the attack. The attack targets the GMP repo with thousands identical requests. So they basically ran a DDoS attack, distributed DDoS attack coming from multiple IPs owned by Microsoft. Now, someone could have created, some Azure servers in the cloud and ran some, distributed DDoS attack against this project. But who would gain from that? You know what I'm saying? Who else would gain from that? And it says we're firewalling off all of the Microsoft IPs as an emergency response. So they have evidence that it was coming from Microsoft IPs. Now exactly who it's coming from, they don't know. It says the following day, Mike Blacker, director of Threat Hunter operations and response at the Microsoft GitHub, had identified the culprit. A GitHub action workflow that clones a Mercurial repo and has been forked more than 700 times. Okay, so Microsoft and GitHub have investigated the issue and determined that a GitHub user updated the script within the FFmpeg build project that pulled content from whatever, explained Blacker. The build was configured to run parallel simultaneous tests on 100 different types of computers architecture. The activity does not appear to be nefarious. So that's one thing about it. I read it. I just kind of wanted to build the suspense. I still don't trust Microsoft, man. I still do not trust Microsoft. Yeah, so it wasn't nefarious according to Mike, I'm messing up my words. Mike Blacker, of Threat Hunters Operation and Response to Microsoft GitHub. It says GitHub tried to prevent workflow from running on fork repositories, but the workflow clone defense doesn't work consistently. All right, this is not the first time a software project has cried DDoS due to burdensome traffic demands. In February 2022, Drew DeVault, founder of SourceHut, described the behavior of Google's Go module mirror as a distributed denial of service attack. After 2 years of complaints from DeVault, Google Go language team earlier this year agrees to make its software less demanding on other people's computing resources. So yeah, you can check out the rest of this article. I thought it was interesting. I just kind of wanted to tell you, it's more of a story once you read it. But that's kind of what happened. And when I first saw the article, I was like, oh, here we go. Microsoft at it again. They didn't show their true colors, you know what I'm saying? And then it turned out that it wasn't, nefarious, but it did look like that based on where the IPs are coming from. And just think about it. What if an organization, multi-million-dollar organization, was conducting a DDoS attack? That's what the interesting part of it was to me, and why I wanted to share it with you guys. So that was stupid. I mean, that was cool, bro. It's a cool article. But yeah, I shared it with in the chat. So if you guys want to check it out. But yeah, I still stand on what I said earlier. Microsoft, I think they still got a mask on. I don't think they really embracing, open source as much as you think in the background, because at the end of the day, it affects their bottom line, which is selling closed source software. Even though a lot of this stuff is on subscription based now, they still, and you don't totally own Microsoft. You're just leasing it from them. It's a one-time fee to lease it. Essentially, you don't own it. You don't know what's in the source code. You don't know anything, dealing with the operating system. And that's where I have a problem with Microsoft anyway, because the operating system, sends a whole bunch of telemetry data back to Microsoft. It tracks pretty much what you're doing so they can send you targeted ads to your system. You start seeing ads within the system itself, which is crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, you already got millions of ads online, but you got ads on your system, and they're tracking how you type on the system and using that. You don't know what they're using that information for. And I don't know. I don't feel comfortable giving it away. And that's one of the reasons why I support open source and I push Linux, because of that reason. So check out this article. I knew I kind of threw you guys for a loop with this one. You know what I'm saying? I knew it was going to go that direction. I just wanted to see what you guys said as reading through it. So let me check out a couple of the comments right fast. Larry Gehring said, yep, they pretend to embrace it. Yeah, they do. KeepItTechie said, yep, Gates and Ballmer did not like Linux. Yeah, they hated Linux, man. KeepItTechie, don't let the existence of Windows subsystem for Linux fool you. Yes, exactly. For real. Shout out to my man Before the Billions. He's in the building. Shout out to him. Yeah, you guys need to check out his channel. You know what I'm saying? He covers a lot of things tech as well over there. Different topics. He live streams a lot, over there, covering, topics that affect people that are trying to get into the IT field. You know what I'm saying? So definitely check out his channel, subscribe over there as well. Drop your link in there Before the Billions. You got a wrench so people can find your channel for anybody that watched a replay or somebody that's here and they never heard of you. Larry Gehring, he said, I left Windows before leaving Windows was cool. Yeah, I know, right? Hey, me too. I haven't used, I use it daily for work. I use a Windows system. You know what I'm saying? I have to, do that. It's an issue laptop, so I can't change the operating system on it. But my main system, straight Linux. You know what I'm saying? I use Linux on everything. I got laptops, all that. My server over there, Proxmox, it's Debian. Is that Debian based? I can't remember. I'm gonna talk about it a little later. But Proxmox server. Let me see. Synology Drive over there. I mean, they use this Linux in the back end. Yes, they're proprietary, Linux operating system, but it uses Linux. What else I got up in here? My main system, my laptops, all my other laptops that ain't got nothing to do with work. Use Linux on it. Now my kids, I can't get them off of Windows because they gotta have a Roblox. It's like crack, man. They gotta have the Roblox, and Roblox doesn't work. Their games, on Roblox don't work on Linux too well unless you use Wine. And I don't want to make it inconvenient for them. I want them to be able to just click on their games and play if they want to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to make it inconvenient, even though it's easy to, set up. You can get it working, but then you get an update, something breaks, and you can't get into your, I don't want them going through that. So they use Windows, and my wife can't get her off of Windows either. You know what I'm saying? I kind of stepped her into it a little bit. I installed LibreOffice, and she was using it for a while. She liked it and everything. But then it got to the point where she was like, I need my Microsoft. I need my Microsoft for work. I need my Microsoft for this, Office for this. You know what I'm saying? So I just went on and buckled down. I think we got a free account or something like that for Microsoft Office. So she good to go now. You know what I'm saying? She got a little Microsoft everything. Microsoft everything. But yeah, but I monitor those systems heavily, which is something I'm gonna get into when we talk about my home lab a little bit more. And actually, let's roll right into it. Hold on, let's see. Yeah, and I got Proxmox just released 8.0. Yes, I'm gonna update my system. I haven't updated it yet. I'm gonna update my main system in a little bit. So, but one cool thing they put on there, I think, what they have on there now? The dork mode. The dork mode, I think is super dope. Where is? I gotta go back over here and figure it out because it got it away. It took it away. There we go. Proxmox is dark. There we go. So now we back to my dark mode because I didn't have it set to my dark mode anymore because I got an update in my browser and it kind of reset a lot of my stuff. My main browser that I use Brave, and kind of reset everything. So let's hop over to the next thing I want to talk about. I want to talk about a project I found out about for your home lab. You know what I'm saying? If you got, and I'm gonna do a main video showing people how to set it up or whatever, but I thought it was a super dope, project. I had never heard of it. I was trying to organize my home lab because I haven't been, I didn't really set it up how I wanted to. And during that time where I had the strike and all that stuff, I had a little bit more time to organize certain things. So I've been going through my home lab and organizing things, setting up things that I didn't have before. You know what I'm saying? That I had previously on my old network before I got this new server or whatever. I just kind of got it up and going quickly and went right back into like doing my reviews or doing certain things. I just wanted to quickly get it up. So I didn't have everything set up on my network that I had on my previous system, like Pi-hole for one, which is one of the things I wanted to cover. But Heimdall. I'm gonna put it down in the chat as well. So check this out. This is an awesome little dashboard, application dashboard. So I can get to everything on my network using this little dashboard. Let me show you guys a couple of screenshots of it. But if we go down here, you see it. This is basically what it looks like. You can have a Google search in there. And actually, let me just show it to you on my network, so you guys can see. But you can add, applications. They have their logos in there. All that stuff is in there. Enhanced applications where you can connect those applications to the dashboard, and you can see information about that. That application that you add to it, like Plex or something. You can run it in Docker. It has the installation instructions here. I'm running it Docker on one of my servers or one of my virtual machines, but that's what I use to manage, not manage, but have like a dashboard of everything on my network. Now, I haven't went through and added everything. I just got a few things on here, but it's basically links to everything on my network. So this is my Proxmox server. So if I hit this open up a new tab, you'll see that it's not secure. I need to go on and add some certs. That's another thing I'm working on. But It's my Proxmox server, so got the defaults. But we'll go into that and look a little more. I just wanted to show you guys Heimdall, but yeah, I can go there. Let's say my home NAS, I got that IP address on there. You know, that'll go straight there and allow me to log in, which I thought was super dope. But yeah, like I said, man, you could put everything here, like my home router. This is one thing I set up recently. I used to have Pi holes throughout my house, well, not Pi holes throughout my house. I used to have it running on a Raspberry Pi, and I ran it there for a number of years on my network. One thing about Pi hole, you can set it up. It could cache sites. You know, you set it up as your DNS server. They even have options. You can set the Pi hole up as a DNS server on your local network. And instead of it reaching to or forwarding your request to a DNS server on the web, it'll actually resolve the request for you and then cache it. And so one thing, since I put these up, because I got 2 of them, and if you guys start noticing once you start looking at my machines and stuff, you'll see that I use Greek gods. I use Greek gods pretty much for everything. As far as my servers, like this main system is Ares that I'm using to stream from. So Ares, Hermes, that's my Proxmox server. Ponus, and sorry, I'm starting to get like a little snotty type nose or whatever. I don't know. I think it's because I'm talking too much. But actually, let me get some water right fast. Sorry, guys. But you'll see, yeah, Pontus, that's one of the Pi holes. I just found that name under a list of Greek gods. Priapus, that's the other Pi hole, is like a secondary DNS server. I got that set up on my my home network as well. And let me go to a couple of them as well. Let me open that up. And oh, my Synology drive not coming up, but let's see. Why is it doing that? It's not supposed to be bringing Synology. Oh, that's right. This will show you. This will give us some time to actually show you guys how to use it. So, what's happening is, I accidentally gave my primary DNS or primary Pi hole the same IP address as my secondary IP address for my home NAS, which is that Synology drive. That's why when I click on it, it's bringing up Synology. See, it says Synology, sorry, the page you're looking for, it's not found. So this will give me a reason to show you guys how to set up the application list. But as soon as you get there, it'll bring up a link, or as soon as you install it, it'll bring up a link basically saying add your first application, and then it'll bring it up. And you can go right to one of these pages. I'll show you guys. So if we hit add, that'll add a new one. Let me go there so you guys can see. But yeah, this is like the little tab or whatever. You can add the application type. So click here on the application type. You can go through and find all these applications. And they have most of the open source applications on here, like, you know, Plex. I didn't put Plex on here, but, you know, Joomla, you know, it'll put the logo there for you, and then you can name it whatever you want to and just add the URL. You see what I'm saying? And if it's a website, you can add the URL for the website. Then just hit save. You know, it'll automatically pin it up there. But yeah, I'm not gonna save that. But I haven't went in and updated since I went in and updated my IP addresses, because like I said, my NAS has 4 and 5 on my network. I accidentally gave this Pi hole the IP address of my second port on my NAS. So this will give me a chance to actually change it. But yeah, and kind of show you. And it pulled up the, you know, Pi hole image. When I went in and selected Pi hole, it pulled it up. So just going to add my, let's see, this is the first one. So let's save it. And then let's go back in here and change my other one. Yeah, there we go. And this one is 7. So I had to go through and fix those or whatever. So yeah, here we go. So Pi-hole. Don't know what the password is on this one. Let's hop in here and try to find it right fast. I know I got it somewhere in my networking stuff. Home Synology. I know I just put this in here. Oh, network. Here we go. Pi-hole. There we go. Let's grab the IP address, and you can go in and modify the IP address. Hopefully it doesn't show you guys, but yeah, it doesn't. So that's my Pi-hole right now. This is one of them, but like I said, I got it running as a DNS server, so it's pulling those, it's doing all the requests. And then you can set this up to run DHCP on your network. Like, for instance, my router doesn't have, and this is one of the reasons it took me a while to set it up. My router doesn't have it where I can specify my DNS servers. So I was eventually going to see if they came out with a version of DDWRT to put on my router. So I can get rid of the default firmware that's on it and put a custom firmware on there with more options. And let me go back to let me just open up DDWRT just so you guys can see what I'm talking about if you guys have never heard of it. This is DDWRT, but it's basically some open source software that's put out there. People develop this, regular people develop it. And you can search the database for your router. Like, you could put whatever in there and search for the router, and it'll give you all the ones that are supported for the version that you need. So if you got an E107 7000P, just click on it, boom. It'll bring up the latest build. You can download that build and then upload it. It has installation instructions. It's simply just uploading the firmware to the router, and it'll do all the stuff for you in the background. It'll install the firmware on the system. And then just be careful with it. Don't lose power or something while you're doing this, because you could break your router. You know, at the end of the day, it ain't no going back. You can't put the old firmware on there. Well, you could back it up. And that's one thing I do. I back up the old firmware. It's a way to back that up. And if you need to go back to the old firmware, just don't lose power in the middle of doing it. Because if it doesn't finish, you're going to break the router, and it's going to be a useless $200 router. Like if you got a Nighthawk or something like that, or something nice at the house so you could game or whatever, and you spend like $200 for it, $150 for it, that's a lot of money to lose by flashing it. So be very careful with DDWRT. And I think it's another one out there. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head right now, but yeah, it didn't have the option to put, and a lot of more modern routers, they don't have an option where you could specify the DNS servers. It'll just use the gateway as the DNS, and it'll basically it uses it as a forwarder, and it'll forward it to wherever, you know what I'm saying? Or you can specify it on your system specifically using the host file or the networking settings. Like if you got Windows, you could specify a specific DNS server in the settings, as well as in, you know, Linux, you can specify it as well. But to avoid that, you know, because I got multiple stuff on my network, just like everybody else. I mean, you probably got, let's look at the clients. I got 31 active clients. So that's tablets, what you call it, iPods, or the tablet thing or whatever it's called. My kids got all that crap. So it's like 30 something active clients. And plus I got servers on here too. So I wanted to manage what DNS servers it uses. So I set my Pi-hole up as the DHCP server. So boom, let me go back because I don't want to show y'all guys my MAC addresses, whatever. Probably seen it, probably could take a screenshot, but whatever. But like I said, DHCP server, you can go in and set it up to take over as a DNS server or DHCP server and turn it off on your router. And whatever, you guys can see some of my devices, whatever. But it's got it's leasing out those IP addresses on the network. So boom, and that way it'll push these as the DNS server. So all the requests are done, you know, from my Pi-hole. And as you can see, it'll speed up your network too. Like this, I'm sure this is my wife's phone, but you'll see it start blocking, because that's one cool thing about Pi-hole. It blocks a whole bunch of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I show you guys a little bit more when I let me go over here, show you the block list, or how it actually, yeah, ad list. There we go. So this is one of the main ones that come with it right away. You can add more block lists to it. They have some out there. You just check on GitHub or something. You can add other block lists. It's basically a list of sites that are considered ads or pushing out information. So basically it protects everything on your network, especially if you set this up as DHCP and DNS. It protects basically all the systems on your network. And I haven't set one of these up in a while. Like I didn't have it set up, you know, on my network. I just been running it, as you can see. I set it up yesterday, actually before that, but I finally got it working again, because I wanted to run it as a DHCP. So I shut it down, cleared the logs and all that stuff. But yeah, it gives you this nice little dashboard. It shows you block sites, block domains. So boom, you'll see mobile collector, newrelic.com. I know you guys can barely see this, but SSL, Google Analytics.com, Google Leads.g.doubleclick.net. So it's blocking all this ad type sites that are being pulled up. Metrics.roblox, that lets you know my kids playing Roblox. All these metrics and stuff. But they've been getting this stuff for months and months from my network, from all the systems on my network. And then top permitted domains. So I guess my wife trying to buy something on Express. No, I don't know what that is. Express API. I thought that was one of those clothing sites or something like that. But Roblox, you see Roblox being hit a lot. Telemetry, Roblox, Avatar, game assets. So, but it blocks all the ad crap. And also, once it started caching sites, that's another cool thing about it. Once it started caching sites, your internet will speed up a little bit. And it's not really speeding it up. It's just the stuff is cached locally on your network. And so it doesn't have for to get it. So it appears to be moving faster. And also it saves on bandwidth because it doesn't have to go out and get the full thing, every single time if it's cached. Whatever is cached, it'll bring it up quicker, as well as you save on bandwidth as well on your network. That was one cool thing about it. And that's why I had, like, before, see, I had this set up totally separately. I had a Pi-hole that just handled this, and then I had mine set up as a DNS server separately. I didn't set up Pi-hole as the DNS. Well, I did at a certain point, but I changed it where Pi-hole took over everything. But I was using Bind for a very long time. And I had it set up as a caching server. And if you guys, I don't know, look at my channel, I did a video on Bind, and this will tell you when I set it up. So let's see, Bind server, DNS caching 5 years ago. So I had DNS caching on Ubuntu 16.04 LTS. So yeah, a while ago. But anyway, back to Pi-hole. Awesome little tool. Like I said, I have a secondary one set up. I'm not gonna log into it, but boom, that's the secondary and the main one. Let me go back to the chat because I know I'm missing chats. I just get excited about messing around with some of this stuff. But yeah, definitely check that out, man. You know what I'm saying? And KeepItTechie, yeah, he own it. He says routers won't let you set custom DNS. Wow, yeah, they don't. It's weird. I don't know why they took that out, but I used to, well, I had DDWRT on it. On my old one, like I had a Linksys, or what's that one back there? That's a Netgear too, but that one was supported by DDWRT, but I was having issues with it, with the kids dropping connections while they playing video games and stuff like that. Now I had to reboot it a lot more in order to keep the connection stable. So that's why I went with another router, a newer router. But the problem is it don't have all those options, and it's not supported by DDWRT. So yeah. I remember putting tomato firmware on an old Linksys router back in the day. Yeah, I've heard of that one. Tomato, yeah. Dang, bro, you're gonna need a bigger network soon. LOL. Yeah, I know, right? I'm gonna have to get one of those racked switches and managed switches and all that stuff at some point. I just ain't willing to spend that much money on that. I mean, if I was making money from the channel, or if I had more people, donating and all that stuff to the channel or whatever, I definitely, try to get some a little bit bigger. Like some of those bigger YouTubers, they got like rack servers. I used to want all that, just to have a nice looking network, but I didn't have the space at some point, and then I always like using just desktop servers. You know what I'm saying? But eventually I may get something like that. Once it, I guess the channel keeps growing and all that stuff. But hey, man, shout out to everybody that subscribed to the channel, man. I wanted to highlight that again, man. I definitely appreciate all you guys that support the channel. Hit 19K subscribers today, so super excited about that. You know what I'm saying? That's super dope. But I appreciate everybody that support the channel. All right, so what else I was going to? Oh, I was gonna go back into let's see, my NAS. Nah, I wasn't gonna show y'all my NAS, but yeah, that's shared throughout my network as well. But hold on, let's go back to Heimdall, or Heimdall, however you say it, Heimdall. But yeah, cool little dot, super cool. I definitely recommend it. Let me see. I put a link down in the description? Yeah, I put a link down there. Also, the GitHub link to it. You can get it from the main website, but just gonna try to put it out there for you guys. Let's see. They do have a Discord. You can check that out. But yeah, I set mine up on Docker. I recommend you set it on Docker. Set it up on Docker as well. That way you ain't gotta, worry about it or whatever. Super easy to set up. Now let's go back into Pricemice. That's why I wanted to bring up that link. So Pricemice, open source, awesome piece of software. You set up your hypervisor at the house, and this is the kind of follows into that home lab portion of the video that I kind of wanted to talk about. I just kind of wanted to cover, some of the servers I built. Not really show them to you, but just kind of talk about what you can actually do with them. So this is my Pricemice server. It's the main system, Hermes, and I got certain virtual machines set up that I run everything on. And crap, I thought this thing would have had the dark theme on there. Let's refresh it. Okay, let's just go in here, change it right fast. But if you got a Pricemice server and you don't know about this feature, but you just go up here under your account, go to color theme, and go to the Pricemice dork, and you will really enjoy this application after that. Yeah, I was so excited or happy when they came out with the dork theme, so you can actually and let's see what version. Yeah, and right now up here at the top, I don't know if you guys can see it, but I got 7.4 -15, and I think that's when it was released, the dark theme, because they, for the longest, they had that white theme or whatever. And you can clusterize this stuff, clusterize these servers. You can have multiple Pricemice servers running on your network, and cluster them. So if one server goes down, you can have different, applications running on different servers, and they're all under one cluster. But anyway, all we got to do is go to my updates, and it'll probably let me know if we got some updates to it. I believe it was released. I'm not sure if we can update it yet. Yeah, probably can't update it yet. But anyway, I got the free version. I didn't pay for the production version. No need for it. If you're not running this in a production environments. No need to pay for it. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, Greek gods, I got this all throughout my system. Have you set up a cluster before? No, I haven't set up the cluster before. I need to go down and try to do it. It shouldn't be hard for me I could install Proxmox on one of my laptops, you know what I'm saying? And then add it to the cluster and then delete it out the cluster or evict it out the cluster. You know what I'm saying? I think, and I'm not sure if you have to have like 3 nodes in the cluster or something like that. I'm not sure. I know certain servers you got to have more, like an odd number within the cluster, I believe, an odd number of nodes in a cluster so they can vote to evict, you know. And if it's like an even number, then there's no tiebreaker, you know what I'm saying? So I think you need, well, I'm not sure about this. I know you could do a 2-node cluster. I know for sure. I've seen people with 2-node clusters. I don't know if that applies though in this case. But anyway, like I was saying, Greek gods, everything I set up, I use Greek gods. So Apollo, that's my Plex server. And the reason I named this one Apollo, god of music, poetry, art, Oracle. So it's some thought behind the names of my servers as well. So Pontus, I can't remember this one. It was something dealing with the sea. Heimdall, they named that, so that's their application. But I set up a lot of these actually not that long ago. I removed a bunch of virtual machines that was running things that were duplicates, or I had another DNS server set up. I just wasn't using it, so I deleted it. Installed Pi-hole, got that one set up, then reconfigure my network so everything is going through those Pi-holes. So this is one of the Pi-holes, and this is the other Pi-hole. Artemis, what is this one? Oh, that is, yeah, and like I said, some thought behind it. So Artemis, Greek goddess of the hunt, forest, and hills, the moon, and archery. So that's why I named it that, because it's MineOS. It's running a Minecraft server for the kids. So I always, like I said, I try to think about it, or I try to research, you know, what god I'm gonna use. Some of them I just throw in there like Ponus. This has something to do with the deep sea, which it was some thought behind that too. Because I mean, you think about it, it's kind of like putting all those ads, sending all those ads down through a black hole. I think that's what people say when it comes to Pi-hole. You sending all the ads down a black hole, so they're not being shown on your network. So deep sea, so he's one of the goddess of that. Priapus, I think this is another sea god. I just went on and made them both sea, so this is the secondary Pi-hole on my network. Now this one is one that I'm interested in showing you, or excited to show you guys. I'm actually working on Ansible. I've been trying to do some automation on the network, and I'm gonna start adding more servers. I was thinking about messing around with Kubernetes. Not thinking about it, I'm actually going to set it up. Play around with Rancher. It's a whole bunch of services out there you can use, man. Prometheus, like some login stuff. Gonna play around with some of that stuff, but yeah, I'm gonna try to do a lot on my network so I can learn. That's the whole purpose of setting up one of these things. Is to learn, create your virtual machines, create your containers. A lot of these virtual machines like down here that are not running, they're mainly just for reviews, or like if I'm playing around with some software and I need a system, a different system from my main system that I want to play around with, because I use Arch on my main system. On this server, I got any and every type of distribution you could think of on here, especially when I'm doing like reviews, and the size of this goes up and down. And this, like I said, I didn't take the time to set up everything on my network. I just went right to work and started producing videos, just showing different distributions, showing different applications. So I didn't care about managing anything or setting up things on my network. So I'm finally getting into it a little bit further, so I can, you know, make things look super cool. So I can show you guys some cool software or services you can run at home. You know what I'm saying? So that yeah, but that's why all these are turned off. I only turn them on and update them. I update them at least once a week. I go through and update them, but I try to have like some Debian, some Ubuntu base, Arch base, some Arch base, like the cybersecurity, like Kali Linux on here. I got Purple Kali, Kali 22, Parrot OS, and some off the wall distros on here as well. And if you go down in here and look at my ISOs, I got ISOs for days. This is what's taking up a lot of the space, the ISOs on here. Rocky Linux, Dat Linux. If I ever just want to go back and pull one up and create it, that's what this one is, Endeavor's OS. So EOS, Rhino Linux. So, and I delete them, I clean them out, but lately I haven't. I need to go through and clean them out, and add new ISOs. But yeah, I always have ISOs for anything, any and everything that I try to review. I keep the ISOs for a little while or whatever, in case I need to spin it up. But anyway, it's Proxmox in a nutshell. I wasn't gonna show you guys too in depth on how to use this. It's cool. It's a super cool application. I definitely recommend you guys check it out. You can get your information out your server, showing the summary, CPU usage, RAM, hard drive space at a glance, all that. Oh, shout out to KeepItTechie, man. He says keep up the great work. Thanks, man. I definitely appreciate you coming through. And yeah, Maddox, yeah, he says 3 nodes in the cluster. Yes, yeah. But I have seen some people set up like a 2-node cluster, I guess. But I know it's supposed to be like 3 or something like that. That way they can vote, like vote to evict or vote. But if you vote to evict one of the nodes in the cluster or something, at that point, how do you get one of the 2 that's still up there? So I don't think that applies in this situation. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe not. Maybe so. I don't know. But shout out to KeepItTechie for the super chat. I definitely appreciate it. Or your VMs or your NAS. No, Proxmox is running on a separate server. My NAS is I can set up like containers on my NAS. I know it has Docker on there. I can run containers directly from there. Which is super cool, super easy to do. But this is running on a actual physical server that I purchased from Dell a while back. And just to give you the quick specs right fast, Maddox, because I know you be asking about the what's your battle station, you know what I'm saying? It's got the Xeon E226 or 2226G CPU in it. It's running at, or it's rated at 3.4 gigahertz. It's a 1 socket. I don't have 2 processors on my system. It's just 1 processor on the board. I could have got a dual processor board, but it's kind of overkill for what I do. But it has 6 Xeon, Intel Xeon processors or cores, kernel version, just a kernel of it running, PV manager. Hold on. RAM, I got 64 gigabytes of RAM. I did a video talking about it a while back, where I covered this system when I got it up. It came with like 18 gigs or something. I bought like 64, bumped it up 16 gigs of RAM. So 2 8 gig sticks, I believe. I got a couple hard drives on here, I think, some that are not seen in Proxmox, because like I said, this is just running on top of Debian. The backend you can actually log into, and you can set up applications there. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, I have a share drive on the back end of my Proxmox server. So like I'm automatically logged into it from clicking there. But like, for instance, let's go DF-H, I believe. And this will show you some of my other drives. I got a 10 terabyte on here, which has a whole bunch of like shared information on it, and a 5 terabyte. And both of those hard drives are just plugged into the computer themselves, and I have them mounted in a specific location on the system in order to handle data that I need for other projects, so to speak. But the main system, or I think it's only like a 500 gig, but I got to run it on an SSD. So it's the operating system is actually run on an SSD. Yeah. So What else about this system? That's pretty much it, man. I don't I never use swap, so I don't even know why I created it. Oh, it says NA, so I might not even have it set up. Because I got so much RAM, 64 gigabytes of RAM. Server load, I need to go through and look at some of this and just make sure my system is running properly. But I normally stay around 50% in the memory. It all depends on what's running. When I turn on one of these virtual machines and I'm doing like a video or something, it bumps up a little bit. But most of these virtual machines, when I set them up, I give them like 8 gigs or so. It doesn't use it, majority of the time. Let's see what else. It's pretty much it. And network traffic, it kind of monitors that. So you got all that information there. It's so much in depth when it comes to Proxmox. I don't even want to go through it. And yet I might do a detailed video just covering everything. But yeah, it's so much in here. Firewalls, this. So I got LVMs, ZFS. Yeah. Certificates, networking, DNS. I can manage I just pointed to the DNS servers, and actually it's crazy because the DNS servers are running on this server, so it's using those servers as a DNS server, which I just made those changes yesterday. I haven't seen the issues. I've been monitoring this thing. I'm gonna monitor it for like a week since I made these changes, just to make sure I'm not losing any access to any services or anything like that. But yeah, you can set one of these up. You can get a computer. I've Facebook Marketplace or something and set up one of these data centers, using Proxmox, a virtual data center, as long as the processor supports or the motherboard supports virtualization, which the processor as well, and it's turned on. You could install this, it all depends on the hardware, but you can have multiple virtual machines running on a system like that. Because I used to run it like that on an old system, that I think I might have took a desktop or some desktop computer that I had, an older desktop, and set up the virtual machines on there. So boom. All right. And then also, if you guys are interested in Pi-hole, actually I'll drop that down here. Boom. That's Pi-hole. That's the actual main site for it. And actually let's go back and look up Proxmox. I want to go to their website, free and open source. The latest version was released. Maybe I'll get the updates pretty soon, because I'm sure they got those updates out to the people that have a subscription first, and we may have to wait, people that don't pay for the subscription. So check that out. Yeah, and this is the GitHub for Pi-hole, so definitely check that out if you want that. Now that's kind of all I got going on for the day. That's all I wanted to talk about. Let me go through a couple of other questions or things that popped up in here in the comments. Let me get out of this. All right. Hey, Techie, any good OSINT OSs, not VMs like TraceLab? OSINT, that's something I have not looked into, so I apologize for that. I haven't looked into any OSINT OSs. I didn't even know they had a specific OSs centered around OSINT. I just thought people use Kali because it has a lot of the tools, that you would probably use in an OSINT, scenario when it comes to it. So I'm definitely gonna check it out and do some reviews on it. I thanks for bringing that to my attention, Voice of Liberty. Definitely appreciate that. I'm gonna definitely look into it. It says, I see you with that Cali Purple. Yes. I've been playing around with it. I like that distro. And since you probably just got here and you missed the beginning of the stream, I've been kind of slowing up on the cybersecurity tools, so to speak. Showing a lot of those tools because I recently got a strike on my channel, so I didn't want to kind of show I didn't want to chance it right away. Let me go back through here. Let's see. I see you with the Cali Purple. I was a daily driver for that for weeks and I loved it. it's other than KDE environment kept messing up. Oh, okay. Yeah. Let's see. Chris Frost. Ansible, Terraform, Grafana, Prometheus, Docker, Portainer, plus Portainer. Yeah, I'm gonna look into those. I've already looked into Ansible. Terraform, I'm gonna play around with. Grafana, I'm definitely want to play around with, and Prometheus. That's a logging system. If you guys haven't heard of it, I've been doing some research on it. So I got like a couple projects, and like I said, I'm behind. I started seeing some of these other content creators that kind of cover some of the same topics I cover. They've already covered a lot of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm behind. A lot of these guys got this stuff set up. You know what I'm saying? I don't even have a lot of it set up. I just been kind of rolling with just strictly Linux stuff, which this is, open source software or whatever. I just haven't been touching it on my own personal network. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm definitely going to check that out, bro. Check out a lot of those tools. Docker and Portainer definitely is going to be one of the next things on my list. And if you just got here, hit the like button. I like to keep saying that, just so we can get the engagement. I can get more people in here. Voice of Liberty says, hey, Techie, you need a good script maker like Python and others, assistant, or anyone on here for that matter. You need a good script maker. Oh, you talking about for like videos? I've been doing it so long by myself. And not that I don't want to hire anyone or want to bring anybody on or whatever. Maybe if I get bigger or whatever, then I'll consider that. But right now, I've been doing everything on my own, figuring it all out. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate you offering, and I'll definitely save your information, or send me an email. We'll talk about it, and I'll put you in mind in case I want to go that route. I currently pay for somebody to do shorts for me, but other than that, it's just that's pretty much it. So for Voice of Liberty says, Athena OS, you've tried it? Yes, I've tried Athena OS. I think I did a video on it a while back, so check that out on my channel. Game Over, he says, I was on the road driving, so I may be behind. It's all good, bro. Larry says, latest Endeavorous OS ISO is Nova. Yeah, I might be behind on some of these distros. Yeah, Endeavorous OS, the one I had up there for sure, is behind, because I haven't updated that one for sure in a while. Actually, let's go back over there. So Endeavors, yeah, or Themis, Nova. So yeah, I don't have the latest one, so it's all good. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate you pointing that out. My bad. Or your VM drives on the NAS. Oh, no. They had their own, and you probably seen, kind of my setup. They're all running, the drives are running on that one server on the main system. So that's why they run pretty fast when I actually run them. Mount a NAS share on iSCSI or iSCSI to your Proxmox server. Maybe I should, man. I kind of have it separate because I have my own share on that server. I have like that 5 and that 10 terabyte that I was talking about that's in that server. They have share drives on them, and I have specific things shared on those, and which is separate from my actual NAS. My NAS shares out. It kind of works with the family, so to speak, a little bit better. Know what I'm saying? Like my wife has her own little account, and my kids, I have them accounts set up so they can store like documents for school and all kind of stuff like that they need access to, as well as have a shared drive in order just to share stuff with each other or with me or my wife. So it controls a little bit more when it comes to the accounts. I mean, I can set it up in Linux. It's not that difficult, but then they got to remember, well, I can use the same passwords they use on their system, mount a drive on there, whatever. But yeah, I can set it up there. You can set up true NAS on Proxmox and like mount a drive to it, a remote drive, and share it out that way. So It's multiple ways of doing it. You know, I appreciate it. Maddox says, damn, you running G's. Or come on. What Roku Muru, he says, what OS are you using? I currently use Arch Linux. And it's custom, you know, customized. You know, I didn't use Endeavoris or any of the pre-built distros. I just used a plain old Arch, and then I installed what I wanted on it. Just to give you some highlights of what I actually use, I use the XFCE desktop environment. That's my favorite desktop environment with a whole bunch of themes, all kind of stuff or whatever. It's simple. My system is simple when you look at it. I like to keep things simple because I do work on it. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like a workhorse. So I just run Arch, and I use Arch, by the way. But no, I run Arch because I can customize everything. I can install what I want and get it set up how I want it and use it. Let's see. I know I need to upgrade my 2015 PC. Yeah. Lab Gopher. Yeah. I just talked about it. I did a video on it. Get some more hardware. Yeah. Chris Frost. Nah, man. I can't. My wife would be upset because I buy guns too. So I'm a avid shooter, so to speak. I go out to the range a lot or whatever, and guns and ammo, as well as, you know, computer equipment. So I got to keep money for both. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I try to keep things minimal. Basically, what I need. I don't like going overkill. Assuming your NAS and do iSCSI. Can you do iSCSI? I don't know, man. To be honest, I need to look into some of that. Kuma, KVM plus Vert Manager. I heard about that, man. But VM set up for conserving power. Okay. You're good, buddy. Thanks for responding. Oh, yeah, appreciate it. I completely understand. Switch up from pen testing to OSINT equals loophole techie. LOL. Yeah. No, bro, website, not for hire. Oh, website. I need help. Just send me an email. It's let me put my email in there. Cause yeah, I definitely need help with my website. So if you know, you're interested in helping, bro, just let me know. Cause I do have a documentation website that I'm trying to work on. So send me an email, Voice of Liberty. And it's all run using one of those static website builders called Hugo. So it's all in Markdown. So I just need help with putting all that stuff together, and putting information out there for people. Like I currently have my introduction to Linux course broken out on that site. So people can go through it step by step. I got some information, you know, typed in the bottom, but the video is where the bulk of the information is. But I need to expand that a little bit more, put the information on there as much. And then also keeping up with the videos, I want to make it almost like a blog site where I'm putting up articles based on the videos that I put out. So yeah, just send me an email. We could talk about it. That's cool on the NAS. Oh, but hey, that's it for you guys. That's it, man. If you're just getting here, go down, like the video. I'm gonna go down and end it right here. Hopefully I covered some cool things. Check out those links that I put out there. You know what I'm saying? This was a great live stream. I appreciate all the questions, you know, all the comments, you know, on these different topics that I talked about. And go down and set you up a home lab. You know what I'm saying? It's no time but the present. You know, it's no better time than the present. Go down and set you up one if you ain't got something at the house, you know, even if it's an old desktop environment, you know, or a desktop computer to set up, you know. But I definitely appreciate all you guys coming through. Shout out to the super chat. I appreciate you, KeepItTechie. I definitely appreciate it. That money goes right back into the channel. And also, if you're interested in joining the membership, that helps out the channel as well. So you guys can do that as well. I try to post my videos that I release early to the memberships because they are giving money, and then release them to the public, you know, maybe a day or so later. But that's something I'm trying to implement now for people that on the membership, as well as still working on this course, trying to get this out too. I'm gonna have a Linux Plus course, CompTIA Linux Plus course that's gonna come out pretty soon, as well as I'm gonna do something on MySQL. It'll be a small course on MySQL. Also setting up Docker. That's another thing. I was gonna do some Docker tutorial type class or whatever. I hope I ain't set up. I probably changed my damn camera. I hope it don't go retarded on me. But yeah, some of that stuff, I got a couple things, you know, slotted for the future, but I appreciate all you guys coming through, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And of course, keep it techie.